Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a look at MOTU Origins Evil-Lyn, also known as the Evil Warrior Goddess. This toy was part of the first wave of the Origins toy line, and she's kind of one of those quintessential characters that they kind of have to do first to get people hyped about the line, right? So naturally, here she is. She's kind of Skeletor's right-hand woman there, and she plays a very significant role in the original series, but especially in the new sequel, Revelation. So she is kind of one of those quintessential characters you have to pick up. So, if you've seen my reviews before, you know how this goes. We're going to take a look at Evil-Lyn's packaging, then we'll open it up, take a quick gander at her comic book, though we've already seen it with He-Man, and we'll get around to playing with Evil-Lyn. She's the first figure to have, the female body type as opposed to the generic super muscle-bound male one. So she's quite a bit different from things we've looked at, previously. So check out her posability and all that, her staff, and then at the end of the video, I'll give my final thoughts. So Evil-Lyn comes in your standard carded blister packaging that most of the MOTU toys come in. You can see her front and center here, and intriguingly, she has like a yellowish, greenish tint to her skin, which isn't something that carried over to like the animated series. So I guess she was supposed to look, maybe not quite human, or maybe like warped by, her dark magics or something. And it's a concept that I don't think's really been touched on. And when you look at, fictional interpretations of her newer figures, she drops the whole otherworldly skin tone. She also uses an outfit which is much more blue and less purple than what you typically see in her fictional appearances. So it's interesting to see, kind of the initial design of the character and then how it's evolved. You can kind of see behind her staff. It's just tied behind her back there. And then we flip this over. We get the really cool artwork of her. I gotta say, not digging the face. Makes her look very hag-like and not the kind of dangerous beauty that she normally exudes. But overall, the picture is still really cool. You can see her kind of charging magic through her staff, and also it's coming out her hand, and she appears to be opening a portal, so I guess summoning something. Her flavor text reads, Evil-Lyn wields frightening magic, making her both Skeletor's greatest ally and his worst enemy. I don't think they ever actually touched on that dynamic in the original show as far as her being a potential threat to Skeletor. I think she was always very loyal to him. I'm still going through the show, though, so I could be wrong. So don't at me, all right? I'm still learning. Does kind of reflect a little bit more for Revelation, how, she becomes much more introspective in her loyalty to Skeletor and realizes she probably didn't need him the whole time. And here we get kind of the play features, right? Fit the crystal ball in the hand. So they call it a crystal ball. I think they normally just call it her staff. Twisted powerful battle positions, which is what they include on almost all of these. And then you get your cross sells for the other Wave 1 figures. So you get He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, Evil-Lyn herself, and Beastman. Still can't find a Beastman. I got Teela on the way, but still no Beastman. Makes me very sad. Hopefully I can find one for a decent price soon. So yeah, that's her packaging. Oh, I noticed they got some kind of text written here, like runes. Can you see that on the rock? And then I think what is the signature of the artist. That's kind of cool. I wonder what those runes are supposed to be. It's got a little like gargoyle dude hanging out there. So yeah, that's her packaging. Let's go ahead and open this up now and play around. All right, let's start off talking about the comic. This is the same one that comes with all the other Wave 1 figures, so it's Beast Barrage. So I'm not going to spend much time on it, just kind of flip through it real quick so you can see the artwork and stuff, but it's your typical He-Man scenario, like specifically from the cartoon, right? Skeletor attacks, the heroes fight to save the day, Adam runs off, comes He-Man, comes in there, kicks everyone's butt, Skeletor retreats, and everyone has a good laugh at the end. So just like your standard Filmation type episode. All right, now here's our look at the Evil-Lyn figure itself. And you can see there's not a whole lot to her. She only comes with the one accessory, which is a bit bare, honestly, compared to the other figures in the wave. But you get her, signature scepter or wand or whatever you want to call it. Go ahead, place it in her hand. And I will say her hand doesn't hold it very well. Basically, she's just kind of pinching it between her thumb and index finger. It's got all this play, so it tends to pop out very easily, which is unfortunate. I mean, it'll stay put, you know, as long as you don't touch it, but you can very easily just kind of smack it out of her hand, so just be aware of that. As I mentioned, she's got that rather odd yellow skin. I don't think it was quite so pronounced on the original toy. I think they really like upped the yellow a couple degrees here, so that's, you know, a little weird, strange choice. Now this is the first like female body type figure that I've done, so we'll kind of get a good look at how all that works. She's still got the same double ball jointed like neck and head connection there, so that's cool. She does have a fully swiveled waist. Her arms are on that same universal type connection as the male characters. You get a little more resistance lifting them all the way up, but they still do have that tendency to kind of pop to one position or the other. She also gets bicep swivel, which is good, single bend elbows, and then wrist swivel and hinging too. And the hinging of her wrist is a lot easier, a lot less resistance on her hands than there are for like the male characters. I guess just because of the difference in design, less bulk getting in the way. And then her legs also have the universal joints. They can lift out like so, and actually split very, very far. And they can swing back and forth, and she gets a lot more play in her legs than the male characters. Her legs can lift up much, much higher. She also has the single bend knees, which gives her these weird kind of like little segmented kneecap kind of things going on. She twists at the knees. She also twists at the boots like the male characters. And then she has the ankle rock and swivel. So she's got just all the exact same amount of articulation as the male toys. However, a lot of her articulation has a better range and is a little bit easier to do. So overall, she ends up being quite a bit more posable than her male counterparts. And for fun, here's a quick little group shot of Evil-Lyn with her master and sometimes lover, Skeletor. And they're both kind of nailing that evil sorcerer aesthetic, right? They got a lot of the dark purples and blues going on. And they both have this kind of otherworldly appearance. Him, obviously, with the green, glowy skull face, and then her with her just kind of unnatural, almost glowing, like lemon-colored skin, which is interesting. Plus, they also rock some kind of a staff or scepter. So they really are, you know, a good matching set. The colors line up very well. They look like, honestly, they could be a couple, which, again, some continuities, they are. And while we have them, let's talk about that difference in the leg articulation, right? So this is how high up her leg can go, right? And then for Skeletor, that's it. So she gets a lot more range than he does that way, as well as the outward, because his only goes up to like there. So not only does that make her, you know, much more posable and kind of a better action figure in general, makes her much more able to mount characters like Battle Cat or Panther or climb in any of the vehicles, because she can get her legs in much better positions other than just more or less standing positions. So that's something I think is pretty cool, and a likely unintentional advantage that the female body type figures have over the male body type ones. And that completes a review of the Origins Evil-Lyn figure. Overall, I like it. I like the design. I like the posability. The one thing I guess I'm not really fond of is just how very simple this toy is. She only gets the one accessory. It's a solid piece of plastic, and then she doesn't come with anything else. So as far as, you know, value for your dollar, you're not getting a whole lot with her. She's very small. She's got the one little staff. That's about it. She doesn't come with all the cool, you know, strap-on armor and added weapons, all that crazy stuff that the other figures in the wave do. So she does feel a little lacking. Now, naturally, they can't form like a whole separate price point just to sell Evil-Lyn, you know, for a few bucks cheaper. Because of that, it just wouldn't be very practical. So, you know, you kind of have to roll with the punches on that one and just understand you're not going to get the same, like, pound-for-pound value with this toy as you are with, you know, say, like He-Man, Skeletor, especially like Man-at-Arms, just got a ton of accessories. But despite that, I still think she's worth picking up. She's just kind of one of those quintessential characters you got to get if you're starting a MOTU collection. She's a very cool character, very devious but charming at the same time. Just an absolute classic. So yeah, I think in the end, even at $15, she's worth picking up. She's just got a really neat design overall. So yeah, if you're in the market for starting an Origins collection, you want to get your major characters out of the way, I think she's worth grabbing, and she shouldn't be too hard to find online and stuff. I know I got mine at retail price, so it shouldn't be too hard to still pick her up, even though she released like last year. So yeah, fully recommend her, despite the fact that she's just not got that much going on. Of course, that is simply my opinion on Evil-Lyn. Now I want to know what you all think. Do you think she's worth the cost of admission? Do you like her? Is there anything you dislike about the toy? Any and all feedback is always welcome in the comments section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to toss it a like. Let YouTube know you want to see more stuff like this. If you do want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. I thank you for joining me for this look at the MOTU Origins Evil-Lyn figure. And with all that said, I will see you next time.